Hi guys, hey, I'm doing a review on something that's very exciting if you make YouTube videos or take selfies or use a camera at all, and that is a ring light. Now, I've wanted a ring light for videos for a very long time, pretty much since the inception of my YouTube channel, but ring lights are freaking expensive if you didn't know. Like, they're upwards of $100. I don't have that kind of budget. This is from a brand called ZOMEi. Am I saying that right? It is a 10.5-inch ring light, and it's called like a tabletop light because it has this like base here which is pretty heavy. It has a stand, and then here's the light, and it bends too, which is great. So like, you know, it's flexible and all that fun stuff. But I have a bunch of stuff to talk about, pros and cons and everything, to see if this is something that you might want to invest in, because it's not super expensive, and I think it's great for anyone who is kind of like an amateur photographer or does YouTube and doesn't have the budget to invest in a bunch of very expensive equipment. First, let's start off with the price. It is $39.99, which I think is a great price. Very affordable, but also not so cheap that you're like, ooh, yikes. It's also dimmable, which is great. There are two little knobs on here. One is to turn it on and to dim it, and then one is to make it a cool light or a warm light, or you can go somewhere in between, which is really great for those different options. I had a light in the past where you could only have cool or warm, you couldn't do in between, so I think it's really great that they have that option. This also feels really nice. It does not feel cheap in any way, shape, or form. I got white just because I thought it was the most neutral color. They also have a pink one if you're more into pink. Now, to turn this on, it needs to be plugged in. It comes with this wire, so one side is a USB and one side is the micro USB, which plugs into the side of the mirror, but then you do have to supply your own little box thing. Now, this is not super long. It is quite long, longer than I was expecting it to be, but it's not that long. So I feel like if you are filming a video using this, right now where I'm sitting, it's a bit far from the outlet, so I would have to buy a micro USB wire that's longer. I did find a really great one on Amazon that I do plan on getting, which is $7.99, so you would have to add that $7.99 onto the $40 if you are going to be working far from an outlet or you don't have like an extension cord or something. So I just think that is something important to know. Now, I did want to mention this. It is pretty nice height if you just wanted to use this to do your makeup in the morning. I think that would be a really great way to use this, so I think that's a great idea for someone who doesn't even want to take photos. This is a really great high quality light in my opinion. I'm going to show you how you set it up, but it has both of these little applications. What are they called? But one of these is like a hot shoe, so you could actually set up your DSLR camera inside of here for filming. I do think that this would not hold that up, to be honest. This is not, like, although the base is quite heavy, a DSLR camera is heavier than this, so I wouldn't recommend hooking up your DSLR camera inside here this way that you would set up your phone. It is really great. This little thing hooks up with that, and you can loosen this and turn it this way or this way to set up your phone inside, and then you can film on your phone. And all these appliances do feel pretty good. I do wish they were white. I mean, I guess they just threw the ones in from wherever, but I do wish they were white. I just think it would look nicer. But that's just my like crazy, like, you know, aesthetic thing. It's very easy to use, very easy to set up. Pretty much it came all separate, and I just twisted these items into each other and it worked really nicely. The thing that is great about having the DSLR camera though is instead of hooking the DSLR camera in here and having the ring light outside, like how you see a lot of YouTubers doing it, you can actually unscrew the top here and hook it up to the top of the hot shoe of your DSLR camera and have a light kind of coming down at you, which might be even more flattering. It does give you the halo eye, which I think is really flattering and really like a nice look. I do think the light is quite flattering. It's not like blurring, it's not going to make you look like super amazing like these YouTubers who have this like super expensive lighting, but it is a flattering light. Also, as you can see in this little clip, the box that it comes in is very minimal and small. You can store it in that box and then you don't have to worry about like, missing any pieces or anything. I don't want to talk about the pros and cons in my opinion. One of the cons is that when you do hook up your phone in here, it does stand straight up, but if you bend the neck of this and you want it to be angled a different way and try it that way, it does kind of fall over. Like your phone might even be a little too heavy for this, even though the bottom is quite heavy. But that's not like a huge issue, just because like I feel like if I was going to sit somewhere and have this sitting in front of me, I wouldn't need to bend the neck too much, but that's just something that you should be aware of in my opinion. A pro is that it won't die because it does have to be plugged in the whole time, but like I said, that's also a con because it does have to be plugged in the whole time, so you can't really take it on the go or move it around. It has to be close to an outlet. I do really like the dimmable quality and that you can switch it from cool to warm or somewhere neutral in the middle. I really like that. I do have photos and video footage of everything, so you can see kind of what a picture and on the iPhone picture on a DSLR camera and DSLR camera footage looks like with cool, warm, and neutral. I'll show you what the actual product looks like in a cool, warm, and neutral setting. I do think the lighting is also very realistic. There's a lot of equipment and like lighting for videos I find to be very fake, can blow things out really weirdly, and I just don't think it looks very good. But I do think that the lighting from this, especially in the neutral setting, looks very just like normal lighting. And this is very thin, which is great. It actually says on the front of the box, ultra thin. This is very, very thin. It's no thicker than one of my books back here behind me. And then once you unscrew all these pieces, which takes all of 20 seconds, put it in this box, it's very thin and very easy to store. It doesn't take up very much room. I think that's all I really have to say. I definitely like this. I definitely would recommend it. If I had been able to find this for this price and this high quality when I first started filming, my quality would have went up like way faster. I think this is a really great option for anyone new to YouTube, anyone who has a low budget, anyone who wants to take nice selfies, or even just get ready in the morning with a cool like kind of light to flatter yourself and so you could really see, make sure everything's blended out, things like that. So I do think this is a great affordable way to add some lighting to whatever you're doing. That's that. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to see more from me, and don't forget to check this out on Amazon. I will link below. Bye.